What happens to young adults with moderate to severe disabilities who are unable to graduate from high school or earn a GED? How do they get a job? Today we'll find out. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to My Healthy Mind. I'm Elizabeth Atkins.
And I'm Michael Hunter.
Every week on My Healthy Mind, we invite guests to talk about a variety of mental health issues that people struggle with on a daily basis and are reluctant to talk about. Our guests include educators and health experts, along with people who have triumphed over mental and physical disabilities.
Yes, Elizabeth, today we're going to talk with Robert Avedijian, fondly known as Principal A. He is the principal of Detroit Public Schools' Charles R. Drew Transition Center. The center is a unique vocational post-secondary school in Detroit that has become a national model. Drew students are between the ages of 18 and 26 and have moderate to severe cognitive and developmental disabilities.
We're also going to talk with Michael Craig, who developed the Drew Horticultural Program. It's one of the outstanding vocational training programs at Drew, and it's the largest school market garden in the country. Students are learning useful gardening and farming skills and how to eat healthy.
Then later in our show, we'll talk with Linda George. She's a paraprofessional who is Michael Craig's assistant. She'll introduce us to one of her students, Nataya, who will share what she's learning in the gardens at Drew.
I can't wait to learn more. Please join us after the break.
My Healthy Mind would like to welcome Magformers as a new sponsor to our show. Not only are they a Michigan-based toy company, but the Magformers Magnus in Motion 61-piece set has been selected as a finalist for the Educational Toy of the Year. To understand how significant this award is, Magformers were selected to be among the top 7 toys out of 500,000 submissions, and my daughters love them. Welcome, Magformers.
Magformers. Each set sold separately, batteries not included.
Stress, depression, and severe mental illness can happen to anyone. Team Mental Health Services has been helping those struggling with these conditions in southeastern Michigan. Within 24 hours of reaching out to our team, members receive psychiatric evaluations and begin the necessary treatment for recovery.
Towards the 6th court date, I finally stood up and said, I can handle this process the rest of the way. And it was all because of the motivation and encouragement I got from Team Mental Health staff.
Team Mental Health Services, because we care and you can.
Welcome back to My Healthy Mind. Today we're talking with Bob Avedijian, principal of the Detroit Public Schools' Charles R. Drew Transition Center. Bob, or Principal A, as you said we can call you, welcome to My Healthy Mind.
Thank you for having me here.
Can you tell us what a transition center is and about the population that you serve?
Absolutely. Drew has about 600 special education students. Highest IQ is about a 55 full-scale IQ. Normal IQ is 100. Transition is a plan that we have to do as part of a student's individualized education program. It's a mandate, a federal mandate. And the transition plan is simply trying to put things in place so that when a student ages out at Drew, we know where they're going, how they're going to get there, and who's going to help pay.
So when you say age out, can you talk about the age range of your students and what age out means?
Sure. Students at Drew are age 18 to 26. Michigan is the only state that goes to age 26 for special education students. So that gives us time to prepare them for that next step, the adult world. So when they transition into it, what we do at Drew is we link with funders. We have the agencies housed in the building. And then through our various programs, our partnerships with all the employers, we send out about 125 every day to various job sites, where we can hope that on-the-job training is one way that we can market our students so that they have an enhanced chance for employment when they leave. You know, I've got to make sure these kids have linkages, and we like and transition to a relay race. When I'm done, I want to put a baton in somebody's hand, and I want to know where they're going, and what are they doing, and how they're going to get there. And those plans are in place and solidified, and so that is our plan at Drew, and we're doing it well.
So Principal A, when the students come to you at first, and they all have different skill levels and abilities, how do you decide what classes they should take to reach that point where they take the baton?
Well, one of the portions of a transition plan talks about vocational interest and preferences. So we do spend the first when they're 18 and 19, really trying to learn who the student is. And we give them exposure to a variety of our programs, our gift shop, our convenience store, our cozy cafe, our copy center, our laundromat, our carpentry program, and then the great horticulture program that's happening. Horticulture program is part of our partnership with the Office of School Nutrition under Executive Director Betty Wiggins. And that thing has grown to immense proportions. And it's culminated in kids actually getting healthy salads, healthy foods on a daily basis. And this year will be the first year where we actually get to use all our 7 high tunnels that came through school nutrition, where the kids are really going to be engaged in produce. They have an opportunity, as I said, we partner with Mayor Duggan's program, so when I can get some back there in the summer, they actually make money while they're working. You want to see a glow, see a kid who gets a paycheck.
And with the vocational training, what is the range of jobs that you've seen, you know, some of the flagships that you can celebrate?
You know, most of our kids are going to get entry-level jobs, which is better than sitting at home. We've got 2 sites called the Project Search site. We have a classroom inside Blue Cross Blue Shield and a classroom inside DTE Energy. And what happens is the kids get their instruction there half a day, and then the other half of the day they learn a variety of tasks and then see if there's anything they excel out. Blue Cross has been great. They've actually hired about 9 of 12. Our big success story, our story of hope, is last year DTE Energy hired a kid with a 55 full-scale IQ who makes $30,000 a year with a retirement plan and fringes.
Wow.
That's a success story.
And tell us why partnerships are so important.
Well, because most people don't want to give our kids that chance. So, you know, our kids have to prove themselves. So when we had the employers, the hospitals, Carmanos, Henry Ford Hospital, Veterans Hospital, you know, we have to go there with trainers. We send out job coaches. We pay roughly $90,000 a year just to bus kids to various job sites. And it's a massive task, but it's supported by Wayne County. And so these partnerships are viable and necessary because we can demonstrate that these kids have the ability to do and be successful. And part of the thing is to see the glow in their face when they know they can do the work. The horticulture program, when the kids actually are plucking the corn that they grew. I don't know if you knew, but they did 20,000 pounds of produce through that partnership. And I mean, so yeah, Office of School Nutrition is beautiful. Not only do we give produce and fresh salads at our school, we're actually able to ship out through the support of the Office of School Nutrition to other schools. So it's a beautiful thing, and we're proud of it.
And Principal A, your program is so unique and pioneering that people, educators from across the country are coming to see it, so they might emulate it in their cities. Is that right?
Yeah, you did say international, I hope, because they came from Nova Scotia to visit Drew.
Wow.
They came from Boston, they came from Chicago, they came from the Upper Peninsula, they came from many of the ISDs, intermediate school districts throughout Michigan. And what we think we have at Drew is a national model for a work skills program, in particular for an urban district. We're the biggest in Michigan, probably the biggest in the country. And what we want to do is be able to let other school districts say, here's what's going on at Drew, and you know what, we're going to try to do it too. And we hope you can do as good as Detroit. Good luck.
Principal A, thank you so much for coming to share all these wonderful things about the Drew Transition Center with your programs and your partnerships and how you're helping students live better lives.
And I want to thank both of you because I want to say that what you did with this, talking about Drew, is able to make a difference in kids' lives, and making a difference is what it's about. And I really want to thank you for providing that opportunity for me to talk about my school that I'm very proud of.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you. After we take a short break, we're going to talk with teacher Michael Craig, who directs the horticultural program at Drew. It's become the largest school market garden in the country. We'll be right back.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to My Healthy Mind. We're here with Michael Craig, who teaches the cognitively impaired at Drew Transition Center in Detroit. He's also a master gardener and director of Drew's horticultural program. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Michael, you've won some very important honors, including the 2015 Teacher of the Year Award from the Michigan Lottery's Excellence in Education program. And that's like the Emmys or the Oscars in education, right?
It's a nice award. It's a nice award for myself and for Drew. It's interesting because also in May of 2015, I was named a finalist in the Michigan Department of Education's Michigan Teacher of the Year. So it's all due to the uniqueness of our program and what we do at Drew.
Well, that's what we want to hear about, the uniqueness of your program. Please tell us about the horticulture program.
Our horticulture program started roughly 4 years ago with Mr. Avedisian, our principal, myself, and Betty Wiggins, our executive director of school nutrition. We had one hoop house and basically an idea. So we sat down and initiated what was first the Detroit School Garden Collaborative, which is any school in DPS could have a school garden, sponsored by DPS and the Office of School Nutrition. Each school is able to receive 6 garden beds, which is able to produce food for their school cafeterias, educational purposes for their students, as well as being part of the community and the urban education system in Detroit. Mm-hmm. The Drew program, we started with one hoop house producing food and produce for our school lunch program. 4 years later, here we are with 7 hoop houses on Drew's campus, a 3.5-acre farm, 72 schools, part of the DPS Office of School Nutrition School Collaborative Garden Program, and we're producing thousands and thousands of pounds of produce for our school lunch program, 32 other schools throughout the district, and our community as well.
This is a great success story, Michael, and we want to hear more about it. But first, can you just help us understand what is a hoop house?
A hoop house is similar to what you see in any nursery. It's simply a greenhouse without the ability to control heat or humidity. So as a horticulture teacher, we are able to continue to grow crops throughout November and early December simply by teaching alternative warming techniques, using mulch and straw around the garden beds, telling the students to not water the tops so they get frost, but to water the sides and the straws so the roots still get the moisture without having it frozen.
And when you're hearing this, we want to keep in mind that the labor part of this are students with a disability.
Correct. And don't forget, the ultimate goal of Drew is to provide students with the vocational skills so that we can find full or part-time employment once they age out of the system. So day by day, we're constantly teaching and reteaching how to seed, how to put a seed in the ground, how to put a seed in a hydroponic growing table, how to turn that seed into a transplant, turn the transplant into the ground of a hoop house. So we're always teaching the skills so that down the road, if I can identify 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 kids a year, I could go to Lowe's Garden Center, Walmart's Garden Center, and say, look, I have these students that can do these skills. Can you find employment opportunities for them?
It sounds like a huge program. How do you manage all of this?
I'm smart enough to understand that I can't do it myself. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of corporate partnerships and other sponsors that help me with whatever I need. Michigan State University provides the expertise along with my Master Gardener classes. Through the Master Gardener program, I'm able to be involved in a network of other Master Gardeners so that if I have a large-scale event and I need help, they, because they have to renew their certification with volunteer hours, they're welcome to come to Drew to help us either harvest or plant or haul soil into the hoop house or whatever we need. There are local corporations such as Data Consulting Group of Detroit, who not only contributes financially to our program, but they offer business advice as far as how to set up spreadsheets for my harvest log, for my planting logs. They give me better expertise as far as how to market our products to our Eastern market, which we're now involved in. So I'm always able to reach out to people to help me as I need it.
Partnerships are key.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid to stick my hand out and say, look, I need this, can you help me? You have to have that.
You have to have that.
Right. Otherwise you won't survive.
Michael, what an exciting program you have. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
After our short break, we're going to be talking to your assistant, Linda George, and a wonderful surprise guest student that she brought with her today.
Great.
We'll be right back.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry. Go along, son.
It's always worth it.
Whoa, master!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Stress, depression, and severe mental illness can happen to anyone. Team Mental Health Services has been helping those struggling with these conditions in southeastern Michigan. Within 24 hours of reaching out to our team, members receive psychiatric evaluations and begin the necessary treatment for recovery.
Towards the 6th court date, I finally stood up and said, I can handle this process the rest of the way. And it was all because of the motivation and encouragement I got from Team Mental Health staff.
Team Mental Health Services, because we care and you can.
Welcome back to My Healthy Mind. Moments ago, Michael Craig, director of the horticultural program at the Drew Transition Center in Detroit, talked with us about the center's school garden market. It is the largest in the country. Now we're pleased to welcome Michael's assistant, Linda George, and one of the students, Natea. Welcome to My Healthy Mind.
Thank you.
Linda, can you please tell us about some of the skills that students are learning in the horticulture program?
Well, of course. Our students are not only learning how to plant and grow vegetables, they're actually learning socialization skills, communication skills, and they are also learning work skills, which will benefit them when they transition from the school into the real world. Say, for instance, Natea decides to get a job at a florist shop or even at a plant nursery. We are preparing them with those employable skills.
And we're pleased that you brought Natea with you today. Welcome again, Natea.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us some of the things that you like about the Drew School?
I like to grow vegetables and stuff.
Okay, what's your favorite vegetable?
Corn, peas.
You grow corn?
Yep.
Does it take a long time?
Not really.
Now, about how long, do you know?
A long time to grow.
Okay. And did you know how to grow corn or plant anything before you went to Drew?
No, not really.
And how did you first feel the first time you put your hands in the dirt?
I feel kind of nervous a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And now, do you talk to plants like some people do?
Not really.
No? Is that a good
No.
thing to talk to plants?
I do.
Okay.
That's exciting. A lot of people don't know how to grow a plant from a seed and then have food from it. That's phenomenal.
I don't know how, by the way, just so you know, okay? That is awesome. And so how are you guys nurturing all of that newness when someone comes for the first time?
Well, when they're new to horticulture, we just basically teach them, what to do. We teach them how to plant. We teach them how to, monitor and care for our products. We teach them how to harvest. It's really simple, Basically, it's like when you were little and you play in the dirt. It comes natural.
And Natea is learning that it comes naturally. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that, Natea.
You're welcome.
Linda, can you please tell us about the skills that the students are learning that can translate into jobs?
Yes, well, our students are learning valuable social skills, okay? We work in groups, so they're learning how to be team players on the job, when they do go out into the real world. And they're also learning effective communication skills, and work skills that will help their transition when they do leave our school and go out into the real world, because we work with adults.
So when you say communication skills, what's an example that
Well,
someone
how
with
to effectively communicate, because I've worked with some students where they're in a household where yelling is acceptable. Okay, of course I'll hear you, but I'm not going to listen to you. So we teach them how to effectively communicate. You don't have to yell to get your point across.
And Linda, what about the benefit of the sense of accomplishment that someone might feel from planting a seed and then seeing a plant and then eating something from it?
It's like the first time they see it, it's like, oh my God, we really did this. We'll go out and we'll pick our tomatoes or whatever. Mr. Craig will make salsa for the students, or we'll pick fresh lettuce, make salads for the students, it builds confidence, self-esteem, because they're doing something that they didn't know they had the skills to do.
We understand that you brought a gift.
Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And can you tell us what this is?
Okay, that's basil.
Ooh, I love
This is
basil.
Do you like
basil.
spaghetti? You like spaghetti?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
basil.
And this is
Fresh.
from the Drew Garden.
That's from the Drew Garden, yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love that. Who gets it?
Thank you, Natea. We'll talk.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And then, Natea, thank you so much for joining us today on My Healthy Mind. You're growing a wonderful garden, and you're providing healthy foods for other students and families in Detroit. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for inviting us.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.
Why is my son having trouble in school? Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
We really want to thank Bob Avedizian, principal of Detroit Public Schools Drew Transition Center, for joining us today to talk about the outstanding vocational programs that are available for young adults with moderate to severe disabilities.
We also want to thank Michael Craig, director of Drew's horticultural program, and his assistant, Linda George, for telling us about important gardening skills students are receiving and how the gardens at Drew help provide nutritious food to children and families in Detroit.
It was also a pleasure to meet and talk with Natea, who's learning some excellent gardening skills at Drew. You know, Michael, I was so impressed with everything that they're doing, and this is an example of urban gardening and teaching people these tremendous skills that enable them to get great jobs and eat healthier and feel a sense of accomplishment that they might not otherwise have.
Absolutely. And I was moved by, and I mean moved by, Principal A, because he was so passionate and proud about what they're doing at the school.
Yes.
And to list all of those partners, those corporations, those restaurants that are helping to give these students an opportunity for that on-the-job training is just invaluable. It's unprecedented. No wonder they're as successful as they are, because it's needed and it's really moving. I mean, you think about how do you want to get involved yourself and help and you know, be a part of what they're doing at Drew.
Yes, and Michael, you said he's proud. Well, I felt proud that this is in our city and that it's a national model that other school districts are trying to emulate.
Yes, and when we visited the school, all of the teachers, all of the students, everyone involved had the same sense of pride. And it was just infectious, so I really appreciate them.
Yes, it was amazing. Yeah, very proud to have that in our city. Before we close today, we want to remind you that no topics about mental health and wellness are off limits on our show. What do you want us to talk about? Contact us and let us know. Be sure to visit us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website, myhealthymind.com. There you'll find helpful resources and links to view other My Healthy Mind shows. And when you contact us, rest assured that we keep your information private. We can't wait to hear from you. So thank you again for joining us today, and we'll see you next week on My Healthy Mind.